Let's head over to the SEC, Kentucky at Ole Miss. This one, another noon kickoff Saturday on ESPN, over under around 54.5. Ole Miss around a 6.5 point favorite. Kentucky upsets Florida. I know people around my neck of the woods here in Louisville. There's about half Louisville, half Kentucky fans, and the rest of the state here, obviously big Kentucky. This is one of the best teams they've had in a while, man. And this is a very impressive team, but 6.5 on the road at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I'm waiting for a 7 to pop. I don't think that's going to happen. It hasn't yet. And I think there's too much sentiment around Kentucky being a well-coached and very good football team that I don't think it's going to pop at 7. So I'm actually not going to bet it. If I do see a 7, I'll fire Kentucky plus 7. But if I don't see it, I'm probably holding off on that. And this is where I'd like to kind of pass off some be careful, a little bit of a warning. Don't ever say that this number is good enough. If you're looking for a number, particularly if it's a key figure, 3, 7, 10, etc., do not say, oh, okay, fine, I'll just take the 6.5. No. If you don't find that 7 or you don't find that 3 that you like, don't bet it, because that's a losing strategy. So I'm not betting this game unless I see that 7. The Wildcats are returning Chris Rodriguez, who hasn't played yet this season. He's a prolific running back. He got into some offseason trouble, and he was disciplined for the first 4 games of the year. But he is back against Ole Miss, who also likes to run the football, and they're very good at it, behind Zach Evans, who transferred over from TCU in the offseason. Kentucky is significantly worse against the run on defense than the pass. They're 53rd in rush defense EPA versus 9th against the pass, and they're 57th in yards per attempt allowed. I think a lot of that does come from Anthony Richardson, ripping off a few chunk plays, but overall, this team does allow the run. They don't allow the pass, but they allow the run, and Ole Miss is going to run the heck out of this ball. Power ratings really like Ole Miss. I'm kind of skeptical. Tulsa's a feisty team, has been in the past, but only beating them by 8 is fairly concerning at home. They also only beat Troy 28-10. And unfortunately, in college football, style points matter. You have to score. You have to blow these teams out. And Ole Miss just hasn't been doing it. They've kind of been letting these guys hang around. Now, they ended the Jeff Collins era by beating Georgia Tech 42-0. Sure, I'm not taking anything from that Georgia Tech game. I think that team looks like they've already quit 4 games into the season. So I'm not terribly excited about Ole Miss this year. And that could be because I didn't really see them as a huge contender coming into the year. So maybe it's a flaw. It kind of depends how you see them. But either way, I'm not laying Ole Miss minus 6.5 against what I believe to be a better Kentucky team. Now, you can point to Kentucky's schedule and being like, wow, they didn't blow these teams out either. They do exactly what they need to do to win. I don't think that's the case with Ole Miss. I think Kentucky already has their tough game under their belt where they beat Florida. They're experienced in these type of games this year, and I take that into account. So I'm going to take Kentucky here if I can find the 7. If I can't find the 7, I'm just going to sit back and watch, but I think Kentucky's a better team.
Yeah, I'm with you here. And I think, in past weeks, we have had success looking at the metrics and then trying to get FPI to confirm what we're seeing in the metrics. And there have been times where the number has seemed off when we do that, and we've pounced on it. Last week, West Virginia, a road short favorite against Virginia Tech, where we thought they should have been a bigger favorite. The week before, Iowa versus Iowa State, I played Iowa State because the numbers just didn't add up for them to be a 4-point dog. Cash that one. This one, if you look at the numbers, Ole Miss should be a slightly bigger favorite than 6.5 if you take into account home field advantage. But what you're saying is absolutely true, that this is not a battle-tested team in Ole Miss. Now, could the numbers pan out and be accurate? Yeah, we'll see. It's always in the range of outcomes. But to your point, their first 4 games, Troy, Central Arkansas, Georgia Tech, and Tulsa. They played cupcakes to start the year. Meanwhile, Kentucky has been battle-tested and has looked very good doing it. Not only winning at Florida in the Swamp, but they've also taken care of business and won handily in their other opponents. So they already have a game on their schedule in the SEC where they're battle tested. So I'm with you there on Kentucky +7 if we can get that number. The other thing I think is, when we have the situation of a team that is locked in, that has already shown that they can beat a team that is favored in the game and doing it on the road, maybe Kentucky first half here for me as well. That's another angle I might look at here. It might take Ole Miss a little bit to get their feet under them. Maybe they come out on top in a 60-minute game, but with how battle-tested UK has been, maybe first half here is the angle as well for the Cats.
Definitely. And well-coached teams don't walk into these games and get their doors blown off. That's why I'm really hesitant to lay the points with Ole Miss. And the other thing that well-coached teams do, which Kentucky is come out strong to start the game and make a statement to start the game. So I like that first half angle.
Yeah, for sure. The game at Florida, they were trailing 16-13 at the half, but that was a cover in the first half for Kentucky in that one as a road underdog. So good stuff there.